Hi, and welcome to today's very special presentation where we're going to help you to cope through COVID and, more importantly, how to ensure that your stress does not overwhelm you, your family, your loved ones while on lockdown, layoffs, or a lack of connection. And most importantly, how you can use the power of meditation to reduce your stress, cope, and thrive during COVID. And today I am joined by a very good friend of mine, someone who has been using the power of meditation for more than 14 years, 10 years as a daily practice in his life to help him through all different kinds of situations. He is the author of Meditation, Not Medicine. Please welcome my good friend, Adam Weber. Adam, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning, Greg. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And I know you're up in New York City right now, and it is a different New York City than what most people probably have seen in the movies from their vacations, things like that. And so I want to start this by talking about how stress levels have changed for you and the city since the pandemic started. What's different about people's day-to-day, their stress levels, and the stress levels of their families, especially if you have young children? How has that changed over the last few months?
I'm in my 50s and I'm a born New Yorker, and outside of college have lived here most of my life. And I have never seen stress levels this high in New York City. And it's a matter of COVID. It's a matter of what we had as far as some of the rioting in the streets, businesses closed. My own real estate business was temporarily closed because of the crisis. And but again, stress levels have never been at a high like I've seen them now.
Being that they are so high, I think this is affecting people's mental health as well. So, how do you believe that stress is affecting people's mental health right now?
Well, that's a great point, because not only is it affecting their mental health, but it's affecting their physical health. We're seeing an uptick in abuse in the home, in suicides, in drug use. And on top of the illegal drug use, we're seeing more people go to their doctors to get what I call the take a pill approach to help reduce their stress. And that is not a good plan to just take a pill every time you're stressed out. Because frankly, the pills don't work. They work temporarily. They don't work. Over time, they no longer work. But again, stress levels have never been at an all-time high, and it is causing a lot of problems for people, both personally and professionally.
And what do you think this is going to do to us short term, medium term, long term? Is this going to be, are we going to see long term effects? Right. I mean, we're 6 months in now. Is this going to have long term implications on our lives?
Yes, definitely. It's not only having effects on us personally, but it's having effects on the family structure, on our work environments, on just everything. There's a fear a lot of days of, because masks are a requirement. If you walk by somebody or you try to get on a subway or a bus, is somebody potentially sick? Is somebody potentially angry, upset? And we've had people just lose their temper and do things where typically they wouldn't before. And the stress, again, are at all-time high, and it's affecting us both at home, at work. Again, record number of divorce filings and record number of abuse filings, both spouses and children, and it's having a real negative effect. And that's going to have a trickle-down effect economically for people. It's already affecting the home market here, as people are rushing to get out of the city and go to outlying counties and to Long Island and New Jersey and places like that.
And so I know this is also taking a toll on you personally and on your family as well, from your business to your personal life that you have. What's been one of your best ways, your number one way to cope mentally, to keep yourself motivated, to stay happy, to stay positive, feeling alive amidst everything that you're seeing around you right now?
Well, although the home is of a nice size, it's hard to sometimes just get a few minutes alone and a few minutes where you can work uninterrupted, because my office is no longer in an office. My office is now at home. My children are learning at home. They don't get to go out and see their friends. They don't get to go out and socialize. My wife, who happens to be a school teacher, she is now teaching from home. We've had to convert an entire room that we used to use for socializing and relaxing into a classroom, half of it for my kids and half of it for my wife, because she's got multiple classes of kids that she needs to teach. And we're in about a week and a half. It really varies where you live, but here in New York, we're going to start school in about a week. And it's a lot for the kids, because not only am I not a teacher, but yesterday, for example, we were interviewing a tutor who will come in and work with our children. I have two sons. We'll work with them 3 hours a day to make sure they stay on track, because there's already talk that they may not go, depending on what happens with the virus, they may not go back to physical school this year. So,
wow.
Yeah.
It's wild. And so with all of that and the fact that, you're not going into the office, the business has changed. Your wife is going to be more stressed out and have more responsibility in her plate. Your kids are in a brand new environment. What are you doing to cope? Like, what has been your mechanism to keep you, whether it's level-headed, whether it's, having a little bit of positivity in your life, like what have you used to cope yourself to help you get through these times?
The number one, outside of doing things like exercising and eating right, is meditation. It helps keep me level. It helped keep me level before. Something that you might not know, I have a progressive form of multiple sclerosis, so my stress levels were already high. And when just daily life got to be very stressful. But now the compound effect of those stress levels have made things even worse. So meditation has been, again, my primary tool, because not only do I meditate every day, but if I'm feeling like stress levels are getting to a certain level, I can stop what I'm doing, go into a corner of the house and meditate, and spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it is, just decompressing and releasing. And that's something that's really, really important, not just for me, but for others as well. And I think if they utilize that particular tool, they would find themselves in a much better place than they have been.
I want to touch on this for a second, because I think a lot of people have a misconception about meditation, what meditation is, how it works. You mentioned that you have kind of a daily practice, right? Something that you do in the morning, but then you're also using it as a coping mechanism throughout the day if stress levels get up. So talk about some of the misconceptions about meditation. I think a lot of people think it's woo-woo, or it's, for just certain types of people. But, the reality is, you're a New Yorker through and through, and this is something that you've found really to add some balance into your life. So talk about the ways that you use meditation and maybe some of the misconceptions that people have about it.
I am a New Yorker through and through. And for me, there was originally from Long Island, and there was always the thought behind meditation that there is, like you use the term, woo-woo. It's a spiritual practice. And yes, while it's been used in certain spiritual circumstances, it does not have to be a spiritual practice. It just has to be something that you can sit down and close your eyes and meditate. And that's why there's too much woo-woo around it, too much people see monks and other things in their mind when they think of meditation, and it does not have to be that way. And that was the way I was originally taught how to meditate. And for me, I had tried multiple types of meditation, but for me, there was always the feeling that there was more to it like that. And so I went about and created my own form, where there doesn't have to be any kind of affiliation with any kind of religion or part of the world like the Far East or anything like that. And people could just sit down, take a break, meditate, and decompress and release their stress. And once you get by the preconceptions of what meditation is, you can utilize the practice a lot better. And it's a lot more effective. That's something not only that I found personally, but I found in my teachings with others. Because before COVID, I was holding in-person classes where I was able to sit down with people. But now people are scared to leave their home and sit in another room with people. Just for example, I go out, people I've known for 20 years don't want to shake your hand, don't want to come within 6-7 feet of you, are nervous. relatives, holidays that passed this past spring. We had Passover. There's also Easter. We stayed on complete opposite sides of the room, didn't go near each other, and that itself is causing even greater stress.
And so let's talk about folks who are they're at home right now. They're watching this interview and they're like, okay, meditation. I might be able to get into that. How does someone get started, especially now that we're at home? Maybe we can't go to a 3-day transcendental meditation class, or anything like that. We're not flying to any spiritual retreats. What's a way that we can maybe start adding this practice into our life, given all the added pressure, all the added stress, all the different things? How would you encourage someone to take that first step?
There's a few different ways. What I've tried to do and I'm trying to do is make meditation and my proprietary technique easy to meditate, more available to people, whether it be through reading one of my books, the one I had previously written for business people before COVID, From Stress to Profit, and now Meditation Not Medicine, as well as following me on YouTube, visiting my website. COVID, I don't want to say forced me, but it created an opportunity to help share something that I and others have benefited from for years. And those who don't utilize the technique can benefit from. So, my website, www.meditationnotmedicine.com. You can find me on YouTube. I encourage you to join the Facebook group, Meditation Not Medicine. And, and if you want, more attention, you want to work with me, that's available too. So, I have an online course that I've created all since COVID came, because I was having people calling saying, listen, I'm too scared. I have a relative who wants to try this. They've seen the difference and they've read about the differences in people who meditate. So how do I learn to do this? So I wanted to, create an easy way for people to learn how to meditate without all the drama, without the fear of, well, this is against my religion. This is something against my beliefs. My friends might not accept it. My family might not accept it. And there came the term easy to meditate. And it's a game changer, and it'll change your life. And it's just a matter of being able to take minutes a day, whether it be 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10, 20, whatever it is, and just practice. And you'll see over time, you'll see a great difference in the way you feel, the way others approach you, the way others feel about you. So it's a good idea to give it a try, because at the end of the day, you don't have to keep the practice, although I recommend you do, because the longer you practice meditation, the greater the effects you will receive and benefits.
I love that. And that's really, really powerful. And I know we've been spending a lot of time talking about you as a business owner, you as a father, your wife. I want to talk about our kids just for a minute. I'm a father. You're a father as well. How is this pandemic affecting our kids and their mental health and their development as, during these formative years?
Well, if you allow me to get a little more personal here, my family are Ivy League, so there's a preconception that everybody's just smart and can excel and, at everything. But I find even my older son having to see a psychologist remotely via Zoom to help deal with his stress and the way he's been reacting. While both of my sons have been reacting, my older son has spent more time reacting. And because he's a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger, you run into the bullying with his younger brother. And again, he can't be around other kids, but you worry what it'll be like when they are able to go back to school. Also, and then the other is the video games. I mean, when I was growing up, we didn't even have video games till I was a little bit older. But these kids, they find themselves in front of the screen, in front of the television, and now, which is very different from maybe when you and I grew up. You got 400 channels on cable. They can watch everything and anything they want, whenever they want. And they're losing the personal touch that some of us older folks have grew up with, being able to get on your bike and go ride, go play. Again, just the fear of being able to take them out because they don't understand. Well, Dad, why do I have to wear a mask? Dad, why can't I run up and play with my friend Eric or whoever it is? And it's having a negative effect on them. And this is something that unless we as parents find a way to help our children help themselves, there's not going to be a good end. And as I mentioned earlier, suicides are at a record high. And unfortunately, that just does not mean older people. There have been quite a few younger kids who have, taken their own lives. And, we just need to watch the news for a short period of time, and the kids do, and they see what's going on in towns across America where people are being violent. And while we may not have been raised well, that would, it's not okay, but the kids are saying, let me model what other people are doing. And that's what's going on, and it's just not good. So meditation will help calm them, learn to find a way to step away from it all.
Yeah, I want to start talking about some solutions because there's a lot of parents out there who they're not really sure what to do, right? Who might just think like, oh, it's just going to work itself out. If you're a proactive parent who's watching this right now, Adam, what are some recommendations that you have for them to help our kids to, gain some clarity, gain some focus and mental strength right now, during these times where, they do have to wear a mask. Yes, they might not be able to just run over to their neighbor's house and play with their friends and jump in the pool. Like, what do you say to these parents right now? What are some tips you have for them to help them during this time?
Help your children learn to help themselves, and also help your children by giving them a practice that they can model themselves, something that parents are doing, that children are doing, they can do together, they can do apart, but it's a matter of reaching out and saying, let me help you help yourself here. And because I'm not a believer that kids want to get upset, that kids want to get irritated, but they are getting irritated and upset. So it's a matter of giving them the tools, just like we would in school, just like we would in sports. I mean, when my older son was playing Little League Baseball, you want to give him the best mitt. You want to give him the best bat. You want to give him every opportunity to succeed. And we're in different times now. So why not give them the opportunity to succeed and the tools that they need to succeed, whether it be a boy, a girl, doesn't matter the age. The teens that I work with are typically, again, 13, 14 and older. But, I know of kids who are even younger who have learned to meditate and learned to find some time to decompress and relieve their stress.
Yeah, I think that's really important for parents to hear that right now and to really start to gain some clarity and focus on what they can do to help their kids through the situation. Now, as we start to wrap up here today, I want to turn the focus back to ourselves just for a second, because if we're pushing ourselves to our limit day in and day out, and I don't know about you, but I'm up longer, I'm up earlier, I'm up later, just trying to get into things because my days have been jam-packed. We have started virtual school here at the house. So, waking up early to get a couple hours of work in before the kids start school. And then I'm taking the baby for first period so my wife can have, a little bit of normalcy for our other two kids. Like it's chaos at all times. And we've talked about meditation, but, if you were to create kind of a game plan right now for folks, a 1, 2, 3 step game plan to give us back control over our lives during these chaotic times, what would you say would be, maybe your own routine or a routine you would recommend to others?
Well, I definitely would want, make sure you're eating right. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Make sure you're drinking enough water, not sodas, not, highly sweetened juices, but water. Make sure you're getting out go for a walk around the block or down the street. Wear a mask, of course. But at the same time, give your kids the gift that most parents don't give their kids, especially until they're adults, if they do, is learning how to meditate. And again, for a short period of time, it's very easy, the technique that I teach, and it can be utilized by anybody. So again, teaching them to deal with their stress in a positive way where nobody else gets hurt, nobody gets harmed, is one of the greatest gifts you can give to your children, because they are also less self-destructive. Um, when they're able to deal with their stress, there's less violence, less fighting. It's just easier to get them to sit down at the dinner table, if they can deal with it, and if they're away from the computer. So less computer time, more meditation.
That was a great 1, 2, 3 kind of step plan, making sure that you're taking care of yourself from, eating right, drinking enough water, getting outside, going for that walk, and learning how to meditate. Great 3 steps there. And I know you've put together a lot of resources. You have courses, you have an e-newsletter, things like that. What are some of the things that you are putting together to help people to learn the skill of meditation and learning how to take that control back?
Well, as you mentioned, I do have the course, and prior to COVID, I was able to do some in-person events, but now everything's going virtual. Just like this interview that was originally planned to be in person, we're doing it virtually, and I'm spending more time on the computer in front of a screen, but it's necessary given the current conditions that we're living in. So get the kids to learn to meditate. Visit my website, www.meditationnotmedicine.com. There's a lot of free resources. Please pick up a copy of the book, and the upcoming book, I think, for most people, is going to be a game changer. I've had some pre-publishing reviews, and people are saying, how come I didn't know about this before? And the answer is, meditation is so often affiliated with religion or woo-woo or something that is not considered. And my goal here, especially in New York, which can be hard to get people to adopt things that aren't sports related, is learning, just spending a few minutes every day, 3, 5, 10, 20, learning how to meditating, and helping them help themselves. And we can help as parents, as teachers, we can help. Our job is to help our children help themselves. And I believe meditation is one of the greatest gifts you can give somebody, because it's something that they only have to learn once, and that they can use for the rest of their life. And it's important that that's what we do.
I appreciate you sharing that and also putting together these resources. And as you're watching this right now, I encourage everyone to go to meditationnotmedicine.com. The first thing that I want you to do when you get there is to join Adam's newsletter. Just enter your email address, and you're going to get regular ideas and tips and videos just like these to help you to learn how to meditate and use meditation and make it a part of your daily practice. You're also going to learn about Adam's new book, Meditation, Not Medicine. You'll get updates as the book is getting ready and coming out into the world. And then I also want you to do 2 more things. I want you to join Adam's Facebook group. This is, again, just go on Facebook, in the search bar, type in Meditation, Not Medicine, request to join the group, because this is where you're going to be not just around Adam and hearing, his ideas and tips to get you started utilizing meditation, but you'll be around other people who are going through similar things as you. Other people who are going through difficult times, who are feeling stressed out, who need a little bit of an edge to help them to cope right now, and not just cope, but I think thrive, and using meditation as a tool to help them to do that. And again, just go into Facebook, on the search bar, type in Meditation, Not Medicine. You'll find Adam's group and be able to join that. And if you want more training videos like this, if you want more tips, lessons, and value from Adam, make sure you look for Meditation, Not Medicine on YouTube as well. But right now, I need you to go to meditationnotmedicine.com, join that newsletter, join that Facebook group, and you will find a world of resources to help you, again, not just to cope during COVID, but to thrive during COVID, to get that control power back into not just your life, but your entire family, which is what Adam has been able to do through all the craziness that he's been going through in New York City and with his family as well. So, Adam, thank you so much for being here today, sharing some of these tips. Any last words, anything that I forgot to cover there that we want to get out today?
No, I just wanted to mention, I encourage you to take Greg's advice, join, visit the website, www.meditationnotmedicine.com. I personally find it that I don't want to overwhelm you. So I'm not the guy, and my firm is not the firm where you will, expect you'll get regular email updates, regular videos, regular tips, and things like that. But you will not get overwhelmed by emails, because I don't like it. Most people don't. I found during COVID, I I unsubscribed from so many people because it seemed like twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, I was getting too much information in my inbox. And I know that the number of emails I got almost doubled on a daily basis. It was something I had tracked before, used less email, do things like that. But follow Greg's advice and visit meditationnotmedicine.com. Ask to join the Facebook group if you're online on Facebook. And hopefully we could find a way to work together, and I can help you find a way to address your stress and decompress, because we're living in crazy times.
Well, thanks, Adam. And again, I hope that you enjoyed today's presentation. You take that action going to meditationnotmedicine.com, and hopefully this gave you some ideas to help you to cope through COVID and how to ensure that your stress does not overwhelm you and your loved ones while on lockdown. Thanks so much to Adam. Appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you real soon.